This is Dr. Keith Lewis. You received this video because you had some questions about our new weight loss program. Maybe I should say healthy weight loss program. The program basically is based on some of the research and some of the treatments we've rendered to patients over the past several years. We, as you know or don't know, we do help women that have hormonal imbalances as well as men. And many of the patients that we see come to us because they just don't feel good. You know, whether they've got high blood pressure problems, diabetes problems, they have no energy, or they're overweight. You know, they come to see us, we evaluate their condition, and many times we find hormonal imbalances are actually the root cause of their problems. Many patients we see don't actually come to us for weight loss at all, even though they are overweight. They have other issues that I guess are more pressing or more concerning, you know, to them and how they affect their daily lives. But what we've noticed over the past several years, once we get our patients healthier, and if it's a hormonal imbalance issue, hormones back to better balance, we find they start losing weight just naturally. And because of this phenomenon, what we've discovered is that certain patients that have certain hormonal imbalances actually have a certain body shape or body type. And based on this body shape or body type, what we've discovered, and not only clinically, but also with the available information in the scientific literature, is that certain patients that have certain hormonal imbalances or certain hormonal dominance actually have a certain body type. And I'd just like to review those with you just very quickly. One of the first body types is the adrenal body type. You know, typically an adrenal patient, symptomatically at least, you know, one of the things we notice most is that they're fatigued, they're tired all the time. Patients experience anxiety. They don't tolerate stress very well. The adrenal glands are our stress handling glands in our body. They also have a lot to do with blood sugar metabolism and the way our body uses sugar, whether it uses sugar for energy or it stores sugar as fat. We also notice these patients oftentimes have, acne problems or skin problems. They need coffee in the morning to wake up. They typically have dark circles under their eyes. They oftentimes have swollen pitting edema in their legs. But the major primary and predominating factor that we see is the fact that they're tired all the time, but weight is certainly an issue. Typically, as you can see from this chart, is that the typical adrenal body type, has a large thorax. They typically have a larger belly. They have rolls of fat around their thorax. And their belly also has a tendency to want to sag. The second body type is the thyroid body type, and as many of you know, the thyroid gland is the powerhouse gland in our body in terms of metabolism. A low-functioning thyroid can lead to a low-functioning metabolism and lead to a lot of different symptoms. One of those again is fatigue, but the other is weight gain. Weight gain all over, not just in the thorax or around the belly, like the adrenal patient, but being overweight every place. Their arms are heavy, their legs are heavy, they've got a heavy belly, some sag in their belly. They also have a lot of fat accumulation around the back of their ribs. We also find that these patients, as time goes on, start to develop skin conditions, dealing with issues such as depression, high cholesterol, and loss of libido. The third body type is the ovary body type. And I guess the best visual you can think of with this type of person is that they usually have very, very wide hips, very small waist, and over time, as hormonal imbalances occur or states of ill health begin to occur, the patient develops a saddlebag type of appearance, as well as a lot of cellulite, in the fatty tissue. These patients also typically have a pooch or a little pouch, beneath their belly button. That's a fatty pouch. Patients we see oftentimes have difficulty with their menses or their periods. They have a lot of cramping, bleeding, or clotting. They oftentimes find that they, have hair loss. They oftentimes have ovarian cysts. And again, we see this more predominantly in women than men, but we have treated patients that are male that have more of an ovarian type body. The third and last body type is the liver. And the liver, is the major detoxifying organ in our body. well, I should say maybe second to our skin, you know, and our lungs. But it truly is a filtration system where anything that we inhale or anything that we ingest ultimately has to go through the liver for filtration purposes to cleanse these toxins out of the food products we ingest or the air that we breathe before it's allowed to enter the bloodstream. Typically, patients that we see that have liver issues have a pot belly. And as time goes on, many times in males especially, but we do see it in females as well, is they look like they swallowed a basketball. They just have this large protruding abdomen. Not a sagging belly, but a rock-hard belly. And I'm sure you've seen people like that. The rest of their body type, you know, their arms are a normal size, their legs a lot of times are smaller than normal size, and even their buttock area are oftentimes a smaller size. We also notice symptomatically these types of patients have a lot of burping, have a lot of belching, indigestion problems. They're the ones that take Rolaids or Prevacid or Prilosec or any of the types of antacids that I just mentioned. They oftentimes have headaches. These patients also oftentimes have brown spots on their hands and on their arms. People oftentimes call them liver spots or age spots. Oftentimes too they have a yellowish tint to their skin, which is another common symptom that we see. We also notice, and I've had patients that have been these liver body types, notice they got these little red specks or spots all over their body. And again, this is common a lot of times with liver congestion or a fatty liver or degenerative liver. And again, because it is such a filtration system, you know, the environment that we live in, whether we're eating, you know, processed foods or foods that have been contaminated with pesticides or insecticides, or we're drinking water that's not necessarily clean, or even breathing dirty air, a lot of times can affect the liver and how the liver functions. So basically our evaluation process, we categorize you based on your body shape or your body type. The second part of the program is trying to design a diet program that's specific towards that hormonal imbalance. And when I say specific toward the hormonal imbalance, I guess what I'm talking more about is specific to your health status. Because what we have found with patients that we've treated over the course of the years, and again the scientific literature certainly will support this fact, is that many patients that we treat are unhealthy first before they become symptomatic, you know, with maybe being overweight or having high blood pressure or having diabetes or having digestive problems. So our goal is to get you back to health first. And what we find, if we can do that, a lot of these other symptoms will take care of themselves. And what we've seen, again, clinically with our patients is we've got them back to better health again, not focusing so much on their weight necessarily, but because they're healthier, they're able to burn fat better and consequently able to manage their fat better. Part 2 of our program is a specific exercise program that's geared towards the individual's body type. For example, the adrenal type person has a completely different exercise program than the thyroid or the ovary type person. Again, the type of exercise that we recommend is extremely important to trigger fat-burning hormones in our body, you know, specifically glucagon or growth hormone. Very important that the exercise program is specific. Otherwise, it can actually stress your body. The exercise can, to a point where it prevents you from losing fat because it triggers fat storage hormones. So basically, that's the program in a nutshell. Number 1, identify the body type, the hormonal imbalance. Number 2, detoxify the liver is the first part of what we do with the dietary plan. Part 3 of the dietary plan is a diet specific towards your body type. Number 4, we also recommend specific nutritional supplementation to help speed this process along and to help nourish, improve the function of these glandular systems, as well as increase their functional reserve. And then the 4th part of it is a specific exercise program. So hopefully this video helps, maybe sheds a little more light on what we're trying to do and trying to accomplish. But I can guarantee you one thing, is that if you follow this plan, you will see results. It's impossible to fail if you follow the plan. That's the most exciting thing that we've seen, you know, in our practice. Thank you.